The Tahoma, a 270-foot medium-endurance cutter based out of New Bedford, Massachusetts, would have different results. Many miles from home, patrolling the Yucatan Strait between Cuba and Mexico, the Tahoma encounters a 32-foot sailing vessel, the Infinity. During a routine inspection, the boarding team finds evidence that the boat has been altered, perhaps to create a hidden compartment.
And we went in very deep, and we pulled it out. And on the end of it came out marijuana, a very small amount, but enough to test positive for THC.
The results of this search effort, 124 pounds of marijuana. A seizure of this size is small in comparison to one made off the western coast of Mexico. This multi-agency bust was part of the Coast Guard's Steel Web campaign to combat maritime drug smuggling. After spotting two open-hulled boats proceeding at a high rate of speed northbound towards the U.S., the Coast Guard cutters Steadfast and Tybee and two U.S. Customs interceptors give chase and overtake the suspect boats. The boats were carrying over 3,200 pounds of marijuana. The same maritime routes traveled by drug traffickers are also being taken by those smuggling a different cargo. While the flow of migrants from Caribbean countries has dwindled, especially compared to its height in 1994, when 63,000 illegal migrants were intercepted and kept from entering the U.S., smuggling of migrants from mainland China has increased significantly. In fact, today, China is considered the largest single maritime migration threat. The crew of a Coast Guard C-130 fixed-wing aircraft spots a 150-foot vessel suspected of carrying illegal immigrants 100 miles south of San Diego, California. The C-130 crew immediately notifies the cutter Tybee, also on patrol in the area. The cutter arrives on scene, and the crew begins their investigation.
Along the port side, midships, looking down into the main hold, where the 57 male migrants are living.
The most intense part is when you get on board and you have all these people everywhere, all over the boat. So we knew we had to take initial action to get everybody in a controlled area.
When you first see it, you're really amazed. It's very dirty. You're basically walking around in human waste. The smell is gut-wrenching. The conditions were basically deplorable. It was their home. It was their bathroom. It was their shower area. It was the area which they lived on board for, close to 2 months.
The 69 Chinese nationals on board, over 24 of them children, will eventually be returned to their homeland. Even though all Coast Guard crews are charged with enforcing federal laws, it's the Tactical Law Enforcement Teams, or TACLETs, and their Law Enforcement Detachment Teams, the LEDETs, that take on the bulk of the most difficult assignments. Their primary mission is counter-drug operations. Whether as part of a shoreside unit or on patrol on a Navy vessel, these teams can find themselves in the most dangerous of situations. LEDET training focuses on fine-tuning boarding skills related to identifying and interdicting suspected drug smugglers.
So without reaching for them, do you have any weapons on board?
Yeah, I got a gun, pistol in the top drawer in there. Am I
Okay.
get it, or?
No, you stay out here, sir.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and inspect that weapon and make sure it's secure. Gray Blue, Roger. We've got permission from the master to go ahead and start ion swabs to San Diego.
Okay.
So what we may be doing for you is maybe conducting a border search. Roger.
Training on the narcotic detection device, which all LEDET units carry, is also required. The device tests for the presence of narcotics. The boarding team uses special swabs to wipe down specific areas of interest in the vessel, those places where crewmen on the vessel may have made contact. These swabs are then inserted into the trace detection equipment and analyzed.
The ion scan can detect narcotics in the nanogram or billionth of a gram level. So we're talking, again, just molecules, very, very small. You can't even see them. Very hard to clean them off. If smugglers had brought drugs on board a vessel and then even taken them off, there's still that minute residue that's left behind. And we can find that with the ion scan.
Got a hit for cocaine in the engine room.
LEDET team members may also be trained on other equipment used in counter-narcotics efforts, including devices which help them locate illegal goods, carefully hidden within the ship.
The Cindy is a device that we use to try to find changes in the structure of a ship or a boat that might indicate that drugs are hidden on board. The device is really kind of small. It uses a very low level of radiation, neutron radiation, and it can actually penetrate through steel bulkheads, through wood paneling, and help us find things that are on the far side, things that we can't see. It's very good for detecting the level of water or fuel in tanks, and it can also find if something illegal like cocaine or marijuana. The Buster device is similar in concept. It's a radiation-based device. This one's a little bit smaller, and it uses a different kind of radiation, gamma rays, and so it really can detect the density of what it sees in front of it. For example, on a regular bulkhead, we can tell if there's something back there, like a significant structural reinforcement, a hollow space, or some solid up against the bulkhead where we expect there to be some kind of air. Both devices can be used without creating any damage to the vessel, so it's a real non-intrusive way for us to examine a vessel.
TACLETs are also involved in illegal migrant interdiction. Additionally, they provide maritime interception operations in support of UN sanctions enforcement and international training and cooperation with NATO or other nations. Whether headed to the Persian Gulf, where they'll board and inspect vessels to ensure compliance with UN sanctions, to Haiti to secure the harbor in support of Operation Uphold Democracy, or to Atlanta to ensure safety of the Olympics, TACLETs often begin training for port security missions by shifting from Coast Guard blue to battle dress fatigues.
Security, move out. Single file line, single file line. Single file line. A lot of the roles that we take on, a lot of the training is non-traditional Coast Guard training. We have to rely upon Marine Corps, Army doctrine to maintain your battle skills, preserve life, ward off any threats in a war atmosphere. Tap up.
Often working side by side with reservists, the TACLETs spend time on the firing range in addition to firing heavy artillery on a moving boat. They also practice maneuvering their boats at high speed in harbor situations in case they have to intercept someone threatening the security of their assigned port.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to herd us out of here. They'd be calling us on the radio, verbally saying we're in the security zone. They're protecting that embankment there. They're going to try and get up on this corridor as we approach in the shore. They'll try and push us out. If they have to, they'll bump us. Ordinarily, they'll have a 50 cal mounted forward, 60 caliber machine gun mounted aft with 2 gunners. Either way, they would move us from the zone, either forcefully or unforcefully.